everyone, my name is Tianyi Zhang. This is my final assessment. This is my 3-stage. Let's begin. In stage 1, I'm 26 years old and a female financial professional working in Sydney, currently holding a temporary work visa. I work full-time as an analyst in the financial industry, earning an annual salary of around $80,000 to $90,000. I live independently in the written apartment in Macquarie Park, with a weekly rent approximately $115, and I do not have any financial dependence since I not yet have PR. I place a great importance on maintaining a strong financial stability, as well as clean employment and visa record. I currently insurance include the private health insurance and basic content insurance. At this stage, my main goal are continuous learning, improving my professional skills, and building a slow long-term career. My early career goal is to enter financial consulting or wealth management as an associate analyst to stay competitive. I will build human capable through RG146 and begin CFA Level 1, while gaining experience through data task, client-facing work, and in the economic circle, high interest rate and low growth may lengthen my job search. I will rely on 6 or 9 months of part-time support and take adjustment role such as wealth admin or client service to maintain income and industry exposure. For the structural change, digitalization and AI increase demand for Python and SQL or the ESG analyst, so I will strengthen those skills to stay competitive. And for the risk analyst, delay PR, long job search, and AI automation will be managed through upskilling, short-term goals, and maintain a financial buffer. During the first 3 to 5 years after graduation, I will continue renting instead of buying a property. Lecture 5 highlight the early career individual should prioritize liquidity and avoid high fixed commitment like a mortgage. As a non-PR buyer, I would also fix the FIRB fee and the foreigner buyer stamp duty, making buying less cost effective. Australia's current high interest rate circle further increase the borrowing costs. I prefer rent in Macquarie Park, especially the pet-friendly Meriton apartment near the Macquarie Uni. Rent of $1,700 per week are high related to graduate income, but my parents will support rent during the stage 1, allowing me to focus on saving and skill investment. According to the lecture 9, visa uncertainty and interest rate risk are high impact risk, so keeping liquidity is the best strategies. My stage 1 tax planning focuses on simplicity, liquidity, and compliance minimization. My income will come from my first full-time role, like $70K or $85K. As a non-resident for tax purpose, I do not receive the tax-free threshold, and the effective rate become around 30%. I will reduce the taxable income through the legal-made deduction, such as work-related courses or equipment and illegal travel, along with Lecture 8. To preserve liquidity, I will not salary sacrifice to super until I receive PR. I will keep investment simple, high interest, account and board ETFs, and use page tools to avoid the tax shortfall, and family support is not taxable, helping maintain the cash flow. My goal in investment is to build a strong financial and personal realism in my earlier career. Using Lecture 9 risk metric, I identify the key risk, health impact from study work pressure, income reputation during the probation or economic slowdown, and the visa uncertainty. To manage those, I maintain the OSHC or OVHC, delay income protection insurance until the responsibilities grows, and build a $40,000 or $6,000 emergency fund following the Lecture 7 guidelines, strengthen the Python SQL and the ESG analytic, and maintain the clear immigration. Tax record also reduce the inaccessibility. My investment goal is the safety, liquidity, and discipline. Follow the Lecture 7 and 9, I adopt conservation allocation, 40% high interest saving for my emergency fund, 30% term deposit to benefit from the high interest, 20% in VGCO for low volatility diversification, and 10% in AU or US blue chips shares to build long-term habits. This ensures the sustainability during the job and the visa transaction while building investment discipline. In stage 2 of my life, which is from 60 to 15 years after graduation, my main goal is to build a stable and high quality life in Sydney while growing my career and preparing for a small family. At this point, I will have a PR, a stable income in a financial industry, and a clear lifestyle, living with my dog and family in an area that support me work and daily routine. My goal in the stage 2 career plan is to move from technical analyst to a financial advisor who can independently manage client. Follow the Lecture 7 Human Capital Model. I plan to finish RG146 model and begin to CPF program around year 6 to 10, which increase the long-term income and the job security. I will strengthen my communication skill using the structured communication from Lecture 2 and apply behavioral financial from Lecture 3 to help the client manage emotion like a loss aversion, which a complex communication from Lecture 8. I can reduce regulatory risk. The industry has become more digital, so I will keep learning the rich teach tools to maintain the competitive. The biggest career risk is to have too free client or slow promotion, so I will manage it by continue learning, networking, and keep 3 to 6 months emergency fund. For housing, stage 2 is when I move from renting to buying my first home with PR and stable income. I can meet the bank lending requirement. I plan to live in Macquarie, North Ryde, or Epping because those areas are safe, convenient, and close to transport and shopping, and very pet friendly. I expect to buy a 2-bedroom unit costing around $880K, and I will save a 20% deposit to avoid LMI and take a loan about $720K. My monthly repayment of around $30,800 will later fall about $2,000 if I share with my partner, staying with 25% to 30% of my after-tax income, which makes the cash flow sustainability rules for Lecture 7. To keep my lifestay safety, I will perform interest rate stress test and hold a 6 to 9 months of mortgage plus living expenses as an emergency saving. My tax planning, my goal is to maintain a good cash flow while building a long-term wealth. My accessible income mainly come from my financial job, and I can claim self-education expenses because I will continue study financial planning, while also buy income protection insurance, where it's tax deductible and protect my earning if I face health or job change. Salary sacrifice will be one of my main strategy, contributing an extra 60,000 to 80,000 into super each year reduce my tax rate from 33% to 15% and act as a forced saving system. For a long-term investment, I will use 50% CGT discount to improve after-tax return. For risk management, my focus expands from protecting myself to protecting my home and future family. As I will own a property and may have a child, I need to complete a risk strategy. For income risk, I will follow the Lecture 9 stress test framework to prepare for a situation like client losses or temporary unemployment. For financial risk, my mortgage is to largest commitment, so I will keep a strong buffer and use income protection and life insurance to avoid high impact event. For health and family risk, I will maintain a privacy health insurance, basic coverage for my child, and a pet insurance to avoid unexpected costs. Finally, for the investment, my goal is sustainable long-term assets growth with a longer time horizon and a higher risk tolerance. I will increase exposure to growth assets. My asset allocation will be around 60 to 70% global equity ETFs, 20% home equity, and 10 to 15% cash. Micro investment will be VGS because it holds over 1,400 global stock, has a strong diversification, high TISH exposure, low fee at 0.80%, and a long-term return about 8 to 10%. This match my need for sustainable long-term growth. Cash will provide a safety buffer, and home will serve as a stable base. When I enter the stage 3 around age 60 and beyond, I expect to remain in Sydney as a long-term Australia permanent resident. At this point, I will be fully retired and no longer responsible for supporting any dependents. My home mortgage will be completely paid off, allowing my house's cost to become stable and predictable. My main income will come from superannuation withdrawal, returning from long-term investment, and probably like part-time consulting work if I choose to stay socially active. Life is perhaps will become quieter and more healthy focused. My prioritize shift toward maintaining well-being, spending time with family, and ensure financial security. My core personal value is the safety and independence will guide my financial decision in this stage. For my career plan, my main objective in stage 3 is to enjoy a sustainable, calm, and healthy retirement. I want to simple lifestyle with routine and freedom to engage in activity I enjoy, such as relaxed travel. As someone who value planning and stability, I will no longer pressure full-time work. If I choose to engage in consulting or teaching, it will be an interest rather than income. Although the labor market will no longer directly affect me, I will still pay attention to overall economic trade and investment return and superannuation sustainability, depending on market condition. The two largest external risks for me are raising medical costs and potential change to Australia's superannuation rule. To manage those, I will maintain privacy health insurance, keep an emergency fund, and hold a diversification investment portfolio. I will also review my retirement budget regularly to preserve financial independence. Overall, my goal is to maintain a sustainable health retirement without major financial pressure, allow me to enjoy travel and live at my own pace. In retirement, my housing goal is to move from current apartment to a new apartment in the Chase area, which offer better medical facility, a quieter environment, and a greater suitable for a senior living. Based on property strategy, I found that apartment prices in Chase are similar to those in Macquarie Park. Since my Macquarie apartment will be fully paid off, I will use the sell to buy strategy. I will apply the main resident exposure to reduce CGT and check whether any past rental period create partial CGT. When buying the new apartment, I will recalculate the stamp duty and ongoing council rate. I will not take a new mortgage payment will come from the sales process and my superannuation. While I assess the price fluctuation, maintain the costs and long-term cash flow pressure to protect my medical and retirement budget. At this stage, my tax planning focuses on protecting retirement income and ensuring my saving lasts throughout my life. My taxable income will mainly come from superannuation withdrawal and investment returns since I am no longer earning full-time wage. Tax efficiency becomes essential. I will manage the time and amount of super withdrawal and to avoid entering higher tax bracket and to reduce the longevity risk. For my investment, I will continue holding long-term, low turnover assets so I can benefit from 50% capital gain tax discount, which help increase my after-tax return. I will also use age-related tax benefit such as SAPTO to further reduce the taxable income. To reduce complexity and sequencing risk, I will simplify my account, avoid unnecessary trading, and continue using diversified ETFs that are naturally tax efficiency. My overall aim is to allow Australia follow the Australia tax rule, minimize avoidable tax, and maintain a sustainable retirement lifestyle. In stage 3, my priority is to keep retirement life stable and low risk. My key risks include health deterioration, market downturn, and the longevity risk. To manage them, I will maintain privacy health insurance such as Bupa Sliver Plus, keep home insurance, update my estimate plan, hold a 12-month emergency fund to avoid selling assets during the market stress. My investment strategy will become more conservative with lower risk tolerance and a short time horizon. My portfolio will hold 25% global equity, 15% Australia equity, and 6% income assets. A core product I will maintain is the VDCO, which hold about 70% bonds, offer a low volatility and charge a 0.27% fee. Overall, the focus is on sustainable income, reduce volatility, and protecting the long-term financial security.